we had been looking forward for 6 mornings to Aaron Rodgers signing his contract extension. I kind of thought maybe he'd retire once Tom Brady came back because now he could be the headliner for Hall of Fame weekend, and I say that only half jokingly. He did sign his extension, and it's still hard to understand exactly what it is. It's got a very high new money average, although I don't think he plays the next 3 years. I think this is basically a 2-year deal if he chooses to come back for the second year. And, there would be cap consequences, obviously, if he doesn't. But this isn't a 5-year deal. The 2 years on the back end are dummy years. And I actually think they went back and reworked the numbers on the back end to make the initial report from NFL media incorrect, that it was a 4-year, $200 million extension. And that worked out to $50 million a year. He's getting $150 million over 3 years when he was supposed to get $26 million this year. So it really is a significant increase if he stays all 3 years. I don't think he stays all 3 years. I think at the end of the day, he's going to be in the same posture after this season that he was after last season. What am I going to do? Am I retiring? Am I playing for the Packers? Or am I going to ask for a trade? And a lot of that stuff you can't put in writing, but there could be an understanding that if he decides after this season he wants to be traded, they'll entertain that possibility. A lot of it comes down to what the cap charges will be. And I've got all the numbers, and I need to crunch them all and post something at PFT so we have a better understanding of what the consequences are if he goes after 1 year. But this was primarily about reducing cap number this year, and it did dramatically down to $28 million from $46.66 million. They desperately needed that. They still need to create more cap space too. But it's also about giving him some financial reward for what he's done the past couple of years, because his current contract was outdated by some of these other deals we've seen, Charean.
Yeah, this gets them really close, Mike. They were at $21.2 million over the salary cap before this deal became official. So the $18 million that they pick up, roughly, will get them really close to that salary cap number. So they're doing some work here. I agree with you. I don't know if he has 3 years left in him. I mean, 38 years old. He certainly hasn't slowed down. We've seen the back-to-back MVPs. But what if this team doesn't win a Super Bowl this year? I mean, they won 13 games over the last 3 seasons, the first team ever to do that and not go to a Super Bowl. What if they don't do it this year? I think that led Russell Wilson to wanting out of Seattle, just thinking, I can't win here. 3-5 in the postseason since they went to their back-to-back Super Bowls, won one, should have won the other against Tom Brady's Patriots at the time. But, I think that led Russell Wilson out. So what if the Packers win 13 again this year and don't get to the Super Bowl again? That, to me, would be something that might prompt Aaron Rodgers to say, you know what, 4 years now, we've been one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the best team in the NFC in the regular season, and we can't get it done in the postseason. Maybe it's time to go try it somewhere else with another team. So I could definitely see that happening if they can't do what they haven't done over the last 3 years.
I still think his fear is he goes to another team and the same thing happens with that other team. So the narrative becomes he's the reason why the Packers were never able to punch it in. Because, look, he is a different player in the postseason than he is in the regular season. Now, back in 2010, he took a team that was the 6th seed at a time when there were only 6 per conference, and they went on the road and they won and they won and they won, and they got to the Super Bowl and beat the Steelers. But 4 times he was the regular season MVP, no Super Bowl appearance. 3 times his team was the 1 seed, no Super Bowl appearance in any of those 3 occasions. I think it was the MVP each of the 3 times that the Packers were the 1 seed. So if he goes somewhere else and is the 1 seed in the MVP and they don't get to the Super Bowl, it's all about him. I also think that as he gets older, he becomes less inclined to start over somewhere else. I think at his core, he really doesn't want to go through that kind of change and get to know new people and new personalities and new this and new that. I don't think he's up for that. I think that he leveraged the threat of leaving to get them to do what he wanted them to do in many different ways in Green Bay. But I think at the end of the day, retirement is all he would do if he doesn't want to play for the Packers anymore. I don't think he has it in him to go play for another team, and I think he resolved that once and for all this year when he decided to return to the Green Bay Packers.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.